What happens when a popular influencer thinks she can humiliate an ordinary man in a luxury restaurant, only to discover she's actually messing with Chuck Norris? You won't believe the shocking twist that follows. Stick around to see how this confrontation turns into a lesson about respect, influence, and character. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this ends. In a luxury restaurant in Dallas, Chuck Norris, dressed simply in denim, is quietly enjoying his meal, unaware of the drama unfolding around him. Madison Blake, an influencer with millions of followers, bursts into the scene, live streaming and demanding special treatment from the staff. She immediately spots Chuck in the background, annoyed that his presence is disrupting her perfect shot. With an attitude of entitlement, Madison confronts him, arrogantly ordering him to move. She boasts about her fame, flaunting her 2 million followers and dismissing Chuck as nothing more than an old man in denim. Unfazed, Chuck calmly reveals that he too has 2.2 million followers, surprising Madison, who then realizes she's been messing with none other than Chuck Norris himself. Her pride quickly crumbles as she realizes the man she was mocking is a living legend. As the tension grows, Madison tries to escalate the situation by live streaming her harassment by Chuck. However, the audience quickly turns on her, praising Chuck and calling her disrespectful. Despite Madison's attempts to have him removed, the restaurant manager steps in, educating her about Chuck's legendary influence and his contributions to society. In the end, Chuck leaves the restaurant with a message in the guest book, teaching everyone that true influence comes from respect and kindness, not social media followers or wealth. Madison's apology video later backfires, further proving that respect and character are more important than fame. In a luxurious Dallas restaurant, Chuck Norris enjoys a quiet meal, unaware that his peaceful dinner will soon be interrupted by an entitled influencer, Madison Blake. Madison, known for her millions of followers, enters the restaurant with a sense of superiority. She demands special treatment, live streaming her every move and causing a stir among the other diners. Upon spotting Chuck in the background, she scoffs, thinking his presence ruins her perfect shot. With an arrogant attitude, Madison approaches Chuck, demanding that he move because he doesn't belong in the upscale setting. As Madison brags about her 2 million followers, Chuck calmly responds by revealing that he too has 2.2 million followers. The realization hits her hard. She has been disrespecting one of the most iconic figures in American culture. Undeterred, Chuck remains composed, while Madison's frustration grows. The situation escalates when she tries to use her social media influence to damage the restaurant's reputation. But it's Chuck who emerges victorious in this clash of egos. The restaurant manager steps in, defending Chuck's legacy and educating Madison about the true nature of influence. He reminds her that while she flaunts her wealth and followers, it's character and respect that truly matter. Chuck's quiet humility and wisdom leave a lasting impact, while Madison's live stream backfires, making her a viral sensation for all the wrong reasons. In the end, Chuck proves that true power lies not in social media numbers or status, but in how we treat others with dignity and respect. In a luxury restaurant in Dallas, Chuck Norris calmly enjoys his meal. But his quiet dinner is soon disrupted by Madison Blake, a brash influencer with millions of followers. Madison, who enters the restaurant flaunting her designer clothes and live streaming her every move, immediately demands special treatment. As she spots Chuck in the background, she becomes irritated, believing his presence is ruining her perfect shot. She arrogantly approaches Chuck, asking him to move to another table so she can continue her content creation without disturbance. Madison, confident in her online following, boasts about her 2 million followers. But Chuck remains calm and pulls out his own phone. To her shock, Chuck reveals that he has 2.2 million followers, subtly turning the tables on Madison. Her smugness quickly fades as she realizes that she has been disrespecting one of the most famous and respected figures in American culture. Chuck continues to handle the situation with grace, while Madison becomes increasingly frustrated. In a desperate attempt to salvage the situation, Madison tries to use her influence to threaten the restaurant's reputation, but Chuck's quiet confidence and wisdom shine through. The restaurant manager steps in to remind Madison that true influence is not measured by the number of followers or material wealth, but by respect and character. In the end, Chuck's dignified response not only humbles Madison but also leaves a lasting lesson on the value of integrity over status. As Madison Blake, a popular influencer with millions of followers, enters a luxury restaurant in Dallas, her presence is all about showcasing her wealth and status. With a phone in hand, she immediately starts live streaming, acting like she owns the place. However, her attention is caught by a man seated in the background, Chuck Norris. Irritated by his simple appearance in denim, she feels his presence ruins the aesthetics of her shoot and arrogantly demands that he move. Chuck, calm and composed, doesn't rise to her challenge but instead subtly reveals that he too has millions of followers, showing her that true influence isn't just about flashy appearances. As Chuck responds with quiet confidence, Madison's arrogance begins to crumble. Her attempts to use her influence against him backfire, and the people around her begin to realize that respect, not followers, is what truly matters. Madison tries to escalate the situation by demanding that the manager kick Chuck out, but the manager sides with Chuck, explaining that true power lies in how you treat others, not in how much money or followers you have. In the end, Madison's sense of entitlement is crushed as she faces the reality that influence and respect can't be bought. They are earned through character and humility. Chuck Norris's actions remind us all that the greatest strength is not about how we flaunt our wealth or status, but how we respect and uplift those around us. Madison Blake, a well-known influencer, enters the luxury restaurant in Dallas with the intention of flaunting her status to her millions of followers. As she begins to stream live, she makes sure everyone knows how exclusive the restaurant is and how special her presence is there. However, her attention is soon drawn to a man in the background, Chuck Norris, who is seated quietly enjoying his meal. Displeased with his presence, Madison feels that he's ruining the aesthetic of her content. She demands that Chuck move, arrogantly assuming that her fame entitles her to control the space. Chuck, however, responds with calm confidence. He doesn't allow her disrespect to rattle him, instead showing that he, too, has millions of followers. This quiet defiance confuses Madison, and she continues to try to assert her dominance, claiming her superiority due to her wealth and popularity. Chuck, maintaining his composed demeanor, reveals that true influence comes from respect and how you treat others, not the number of followers or the brand of your clothing. As Madison grows increasingly frustrated, Chuck continues to teach her a lesson in humility. Her attempt to publicly humiliate him only serves to expose her lack of understanding about real influence. The manager steps in, and it becomes clear to Madison that her social media followers mean little compared to Chuck's decades of impact and character. By the end of the encounter, Madison learns a hard lesson. Money and followers can't replace respect, and true influence is earned through actions, not appearances. As Madison's live stream continues, her attempts to humiliate Chuck Norris only backfire. She grows frustrated as Chuck calmly and respectfully responds to her insults, even showing her that his Instagram following surpasses hers. Her arrogance blinds her to the fact that she is facing someone far more influential than she could ever imagine. Chuck's quiet confidence and humility completely disarm Madison, exposing the shallowness of her approach to life and her followers. In an attempt to escalate the situation, Madison storms to the manager's office, demanding that Chuck be removed from the restaurant. However, the manager quickly recognizes Chuck and informs her that the man she's been insulting is not just a random diner, but an American icon. The revelation hits Madison like a ton of bricks, but she doesn't back down. She continues to argue, but Chuck, ever composed, reminds her that real respect cannot be bought with followers or status. The manager sides with Chuck, explaining that the restaurant reserves the right to refuse service to anyone who disrespects other guests. Madison is escorted out, but not before Chuck calmly delivers one last lesson. True influence is not about followers but how you treat people. Chuck's actions, both in the restaurant and in his response to Madison, prove that the true power lies in kindness, humility, and respect, qualities that Madison had yet to learn. The viral video of this encounter is a testament to the importance of these values. As Madison storms toward the manager's office, Determined to have Chuck Norris removed from the restaurant, she's met with an unexpected twist. The manager, upon recognizing Chuck, informs her that the man she's been insulting is none other than the legendary Chuck Norris, a cultural icon with decades of influence and respect. Madison, initially in denial, tries to continue her rant, but the weight of the realization hits her. The manager, in a calm yet firm tone, explains that while Madison may have money and followers, Chuck Norris has earned his respect through his actions, not his wealth. The situation becomes even more intense as the manager delivers a powerful speech about the difference between true influence and superficial status. He highlights how Chuck has spent years inspiring others, embodying the values that truly matter, such as kindness, respect, and integrity. Chuck, who has remained calm and composed throughout the ordeal, gently reminds Madison that real power is not about belittling others or flaunting one's success. Instead, it's about lifting others up, even when they've tried to tear you down. Madison, now humiliated, is escorted out of the restaurant, and her attempt to make a spectacle of Chuck Norris backfires spectacularly. Her live stream, which she thought would showcase her influence, becomes a viral reminder of how entitlement and arrogance can lead to a harsh lesson in humility. Chuck's simple yet profound wisdom shines through, teaching everyone that true strength lies not in followers, but in how we treat others with respect. After Chuck Norris calmly handles Madison's disrespectful behavior in the luxury restaurant, he teaches her a lesson about the true meaning of influence. Despite her attempts to belittle him and use her social media following to intimidate him, Chuck remains composed and confident, showing her that respect cannot be bought or earned through followers or wealth. As Madison continues to escalate the situation by going live, she is stunned to find that Chuck Norris has more followers than her, 2.2 million, compared to her 2 million. This realization only deepens her embarrassment when the manager steps in, explaining that Chuck is an American icon, revered for his integrity and charitable efforts, while Madison's fame is based on superficiality. The manager's passionate speech about Chuck's contributions and character makes Madison's attempts to humiliate him seem trivial and misguided. Eventually, she is escorted out of the restaurant, her live stream now capturing her humiliation instead of her expected victory. Chuck Norris, in his usual humble manner, continues to enjoy his meal, teaching everyone in the room a valuable lesson. True influence, he reveals, comes from how you treat others, not from how many followers you have or how much money you make. As Madison exits in disgrace, Chuck's calm demeanor and words resonate with all those present, reminding them that respect and kindness hold more value than status or popularity. Madison's confrontation with Chuck Norris in the luxury restaurant leads to a stunning turn of events that completely humbles her. Initially, she tries to use her social media following and celebrity status to intimidate Chuck, a man she believes is just a simple elderly figure in denim. However, her arrogance backfires when she discovers that Chuck has more followers than her, 2.2 million compared to her 2 million. Chuck, who has spent decades inspiring millions, calmly reveals that influence is not defined by the number of followers or the money in one's bank account, but by the way one treats others with respect and dignity. As the situation escalates, Madison is forced to retreat to the manager's office, where she learns the truth about Chuck's status as an American icon, something she had grossly underestimated. The manager's passionate words about Chuck's contributions to charity and his embodiment of the American values of humility and integrity completely throw Madison off balance. When Madison is finally asked to leave the restaurant, Chuck, ever humble, returns to his meal and reminds everyone in the restaurant that respect is earned through actions, not popularity. The situation, which started as a moment of humiliation for Chuck, ends with him teaching a profound lesson in character, proving that true influence is not about followers, but about how one impacts the lives of others. Meanwhile, Madison's attempt at fame through drama and controversy has only backfired, turning her own live stream into a viral spectacle for all the wrong reasons. The key lesson from this story is that true influence and respect come from character, not fame or wealth. Madison, an influencer, tries to use her social media following and status to belittle Chuck Norris, only to learn a valuable lesson in humility and the importance of treating others with dignity. Despite his celebrity status, Chuck remained calm and composed, showing that real strength lies in how we treat others, especially in moments of challenge. This story serves as a reminder that in life, it's not the number of followers we have or the possessions we accumulate that define us, but the way we build relationships, offer respect, and show kindness to others. As we age, we realize that personal integrity and the impact we have on those around us are the most meaningful measures of success. In a world that often values status over substance, it's essential to remember that the respect we earn through our actions will leave a lasting legacy far greater than any social media following or material success. If you enjoyed this powerful story of respect, humility, and the true meaning of influence, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Chuck Norris's response reflects the values we should embrace in today's world? Let us know your perspective. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family who could benefit from a little reminder about what really matters in life. Respect, kindness, and staying true to your principles, these are timeless lessons. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep striving for greatness, no matter what the world may throw at you.